After a disappointing season, Real Madrid's decision to bring in just 4 new signings has surprised many fans, especially those who were expecting a full-scale overhaul. But if you take a closer look at the quality of these additions, it becomes clear that Los Blancos aren't just spending selectively. They're executing a long-term strategy. Rather than blindly chasing the transfer market, they've invested 167.5 million euros in 4 key players and promoted Gonzalo Garcia from the Castilla youth team to the first squad. The most expensive signing was Dean Huijsen at 62.5 million euros, a move that signals a clear intent to refresh the defense. With key players like Alaba and Militão plagued by recurring injuries, and both Rudiger and Raúl Asensio suffering dips in form, reinforcements were urgently needed. On the left side, Álvaro Carreras arrives from Benfica and is expected to either replace Ferland Mendy or at least provide fierce competition. Meanwhile, 17-year-old Franco Mastantuono is a long-term investment in midfield, following the club's tradition of betting on raw South American gems, just like they once did with Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. The most eye-catching deal, however, is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Signed for just 10 million euros to buy out the final year of his contract, Madrid have secured one of Europe's most creative fullbacks. He may no longer be at his absolute peak, but his experience and class are still something every top club desires. Finally, the promotion of Gonzalo Garcia adds depth to the squad and reflects the club's continued emphasis on homegrown talent. All in all, while 4 signings might seem modest compared to the blockbuster summers of the past, this window shows clear intent. Real Madrid are investing wisely, targeting key positions and thinking long-term. The only question that remains, will they pull off one final attacking bombshell before the window closes? With most of the transfer work done, the biggest question now lies in the attack. Will Kylian Mbappé and Vinicius Jr. need to adjust their games to fit the philosophy of new manager Xabi Alonso? There are undeniable upsides. Mbappé and Vinicius are 2 of the best attacking players in the world. Vinicius brings blistering pace, dribbling skills, and explosive creativity on the left wing, while Mbappé has grown more comfortable playing as a center forward or drifting to the right. Together, they form a deadly duo capable of breaking down any defense. The presence of young talents like Endrick, Rodrigo, Arda Güler, and Mastantuono also gives the attack plenty of rotation options and depth. Still, challenges remain. Both Vinicius and Mbappé tend to cut inside, which could limit the team's natural width, an issue already flagged by the club's scouting department. Alonso may have to rely on wingbacks like Carreras to stretch the play, but that's only a temporary fix. Having fullbacks constantly push high up the pitch leaves space behind and creates defensive vulnerabilities. On top of that, both stars have strong personalities and prefer to play in their optimal positions, making it difficult to balance roles, especially if Alonso shifts to a 2-striker system. There's also tension off the pitch. Spanish media reports suggest that contract extension talks between Vinicius and the club have stalled. A subtle but meaningful sign, as Mbappé becomes more and more central to the team's plans. If this overlap in roles isn't resolved, it could lead to tactical imbalance, or even locker room tension. Real Madrid now possess 2 of the best forwards on the planet, but getting them to not only coexist, but thrive together is a puzzle that won't solve itself. The solution could be a new signing, a natural winger to maintain width, or it might come from Alonso himself through subtle tactical tweaks. Either way, Real Madrid's attack is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing tactical storylines of the coming season. In the summer of 2025, Real Madrid took a noticeably different approach in the transfer market. Instead of offloading players left and right, they focused on stability, choosing to retain key figures and preserve squad depth heading into Xabi Alonso's first season at the helm. In defense, rather than parting ways early, the club made the deliberate choice to keep center-back Antonio Rudiger until the end of his contract in 2027. The aim? To maintain healthy competition among the likes of Militão, Alaba, and rising star Raúl Asensio. With no additional center-back signings this summer, Keeping Rudiger ensures Alonso has depth and continuity during a critical generational transition. Up front, Rodrigo was widely rumored to be on his way out. Links to Tottenham, Arsenal, and Liverpool swirled for weeks, but no official bids were submitted. Real Madrid made it clear they would only consider offers in the 90 to 100 million euro range, a price that caused most suitors to hesitate. To his credit, Rodrigo remained entirely professional throughout. He never pushed for a move. In fact, his social media post, ready for the challenges ahead, sent a clear message. He's locked in and focused. He knows he's no longer a guaranteed starter, but he's ready to fight for his place. This choice to retain rather than offload key players offers Real Madrid several strategic advantages. It preserves squad stability during a period of transition. It avoids the need for rushed replacements in a market short on quality, budget-friendly options. And importantly, players like Rodrigo or Rudiger, if they perform well, could either increase their transfer value or evolve into long-term assets within the project. Despite an already smart and selective summer window, Real Madrid aren't done yet. Under Alonso, the club is moving with patience and precision, targeting reinforcements stage by stage, with both short-term and long-term goals in mind. The top priority remains the defense. Liverpool's Ibrahima Konate is still target number one. While Liverpool are demanding around 50 million euros, Madrid have only offered 25 million euros so far, hoping to negotiate as his contract winds down, due to expire in summer 2026. With strong ball-playing skills and excellent game-reading ability, Konate could form a formidable trio alongside Dean Huijsen and Rudiger in a three-man backline. William Saliba of Arsenal is also being closely monitored. Following Luka Modric's departure, the club is also eyeing quality reinforcement in midfield. Angelo Stiller of Stuttgart has been frequently mentioned, his distribution style drawing comparisons to Toni Kroos, though negotiations remain tricky. Meanwhile, Rodri of Manchester City is a player Alonso deeply admires, and a push could come in the summer of 2026 when he enters the final year of his deal. At the same time, Real Madrid continue to invest in high-upside youth talent. Max Daumann, a 15-year-old sensation from Arsenal's academy, is now firmly on their radar. It's all part of a long-term plan to build the next generation early, just as they did with Güler, Endrick, and Mastantuono. What ties all these moves together is Madrid's financial flexibility and razor-sharp sense of timing. The club is willing to wait for free transfers, for favorable prices, for the right moment. This phased, long-view approach not only promotes balanced squad development, but also gives Alonso the stability he needs to shape his vision without chaos. With a season that ended in over 1.1 billion euros in revenue, nearly 600 million euros in equity, and just 12 million euros in net debt, Real Madrid's relative silence in the transfer market has left many scratching their heads. But look a little deeper and it becomes clear. President Florentino Perez is playing a long game unlike anyone else. Los Blancos posted 208 million euros in operating income and an astonishing 243 million euros in profits. They could easily afford to trigger a few more transfer market fireworks if they wanted to. But Perez has chosen stability, preserving financial levers, bracing for the unpredictable, and putting his faith in what he already has. Part of this stems from the trust he's placed in the current squad and in head coach Xabi Alonso, who has sparked genuine optimism. With Mbappe, Endrick, Vinicius, and a host of other stars already in place, Perez doesn't see the need to spend just for the sake of it, but there's a deeper strategy unfolding. Perez is already eyeing the January 2026 window, a period when the chaos of the summer market has faded and hidden opportunities often emerge. If injuries strike or squad depth needs reinforcing, that's when he plans to move decisively. Another key reason for the restraint. Perez is doubling down on internal resources. Real Madrid's academy is now a cornerstone of the project, with several young talents pushing for first-team breakthroughs. Rather than throw money at short-term fixes, Perez wants Alonso to build from within, to develop, trust, and optimize the club's own talent pipeline. Ironically, the 4-0 defeat to PSG in the 2025 Club World Cup semi-final only reinforced that belief. Despite the loss, Madrid still walked away with over 54 million euros in prize money, a sizable return even in failure. At the same time, the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium revamp is about to unlock fresh revenue streams beyond football, concerts, entertainment events, even an NFL game scheduled for November. These new earnings will flow into the club's long-term investment fund, giving Real Madrid the freedom to spend big when necessary, without breaching debt thresholds. So, this transfer window, silence isn't weakness, it's calculation. At Real Madrid, every move is deliberate. Perez and Alonso aren't tearing things down to rebuild from scratch. They're reinforcing the foundation. From keeping key players and elevating youth to selective signings and financial discipline, this is a club walking its own path. The summer of 2025 marks the beginning of a new era, one where patience, planning, and purpose will define greatness, not the noise of big-name transfers. And for those who believe Madrid has gone quiet, don't be surprised when they make the loudest statement of all, on the pitch.